Hey, Tim Downs here, real estate agent on the west side of Phoenix, and taking you along with me on a ride. While I'm going, I wanted to talk a little bit about just what are you going to get when you use a real estate agent that is also a veteran. Just thought I'd kind of go through a few things, just kind of give you an understanding of what's involved when you deal with a veteran and some of the expectations that you can have. So I kind of just wanted to go through some of that. So, number one, when dealing with a real estate agent that is also a veteran, what are you going to get? You're going to get somebody who's used to scrutiny. If you're a veteran, you know what I'm talking about in the fact that you get lots of feedback when you're in the military, especially when you're new, especially when you don't know anything. Your first couple weeks in basic training, you get lots of feedback, aka scrutiny. It's just part of the culture. You're going to get somebody who's used to being told what others don't like about what they're doing. You could call it a thick skin. You can call it, a person who's just used to getting chewed out, perhaps. There's all sorts of versions of this. But the reality is if you're dealing with an agent that is a veteran, if you don't like something, or if you don't like how things are going, or you don't like how they're handling a given situation, you're not going to be dealing with somebody who's going to melt down when you give them some constructive feedback. Constructive feedback is very much part of the process when you're in the military. A lot of ways, basic training is there to teach you, look, we're going to come at you. You might as well get used to it. We're going to tell you where you've messed it up. You might as well get used to it. If you can't handle that kind of feedback, if you melt down when somebody chews you out or doesn't like something that you're doing, if you're just really sensitive, obviously the military was probably not a place that you would thrive in. It's just how it is. Veterans are very used to feedback, and in a lot of ways, they embrace it even. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know how to get better if somebody isn't showing you where you're coming short. It's just part of it. So if there's something that you want to voice to an agent, if there's something that you just feel like you had a different expectation of, I could say if you're dealing with me specifically, and any agent for that matter who's a veteran, feel free to let them know how you feel about something. They can take it. They really can. They may not like it. They may not even agree with it, but they can take it. That's something that they're used to. So if you're the type that you would like to voice your dissatisfaction about something, I can tell you I'd probably be the right agent for you. Not going to take it personally, especially if you're right. I may not like it, but I'll walk away. I'll tip my hat to you. I'll say, yeah, well, you're right. I'll fix it. So if you're looking for an agent and you want to be a little bit more frank with that agent, a veteran is definitely a direction you can go. Point number 2 on the benefits of using a real estate agent that is a veteran is no matter how dumb of a question you have, I can guarantee you I have heard dumber. You will not ask a dumb question that's going to top the list of things that I have heard as a military veteran when it comes to dumb questions. I can recall being in basic training, and they told us, you will shave every day. You will not have stubble. You will not have 5 o'clock shadow. You will have a freshly shaven face. To which somebody asked the question, does that mean our eyebrows? No, not your eyebrows. It's just, look, you're not going to top it, okay? I can come up with 100 different dumb things I've heard, but trust me, You will not exceed the dumb factor that I have been exposed to as a military veteran. You are free to ask away. I will not shame you. I will not say, my God, I have never heard a dumber question in my life, because it will be a lie. I have heard dumber. So you are free to use me as a real estate agent, and you are free to ask any question you want, free of any shame and any judgment. You are good to go with me. Point number 3 of why using a real estate agent that is a veteran is a good thing for you. And that is, veterans understand what it takes to reach lofty goals. No matter which branch you're in, there are standards that military members, military veterans understand. And they understand that they are not negotiable. They understand that everyone will meet them. They're used to environments where somebody says, we don't care what you look like, we don't care what you sound like, we don't care anything other than there's a standard and you're going to meet it if you're going to move on with us, period. That's just something we're used to. I can recall my personal journey in the U.S. Air Force when I was in basic training, and they gave us more tasks than any person could do. They just pile it on one after the next. I can remember being just so kind of overwhelmed by the amount of tasks that they were giving us, until I was listening to a demonstration given by one of the training instructors. She was going through all the steps, and she suddenly went off on somebody, I don't remember who it was or why, about how many tasks that we have been given and how long it's going to take for us to do it and how we have to do it right. And she didn't care if they were overwhelmed, and she didn't care anything about that. There was a standard that had to be met, and they were going to meet it. And she said, young man, if you cannot figure out in what order to hang your clothing in a closet, I will never fly on an airplane that you worked on. And it was in that moment that I realized what they were doing to us. It was in that very moment. I never doubted what they were doing ever again. It felt like a waste of time, which direction your razor was pointing, how thick your shirts were, and were they folded in the right manner, just on and on and on and on, of that kind of thing. I never doubted why they did that, because I suddenly realized how complex some of these airplanes were, and how complex the maintenance schedules were, and the processes that they had to go through to make sure that those planes flew and not crashed. I realized, okay, they're weeding out people who can't focus on a lot of tasks that had to be done perfectly, that had to be done to a standard that the Air Force said it had to be done in. So that's just one example. That's just one branch. There's a million versions of that. A million versions depending on the branch that you're in. But it's all the same. We've all been put in environments as veterans of a standard will be met. There is not negotiable. You will work hard. You will stay up late. You will focus. You will do whatever it takes in order to meet that standard, or you're not going to be a part of us. It's kind of how it works. So if you're wanting to use an agent and you want somebody who understands what the big picture is, who understands how important it is to meet certain goals and guidelines, and ensuring that paperwork is done properly and done within the time frames allotted, I can at least say about agents who are veterans, they understand what that means. Point number 4 on why you can use a real estate agent that is a veteran. You will not out sarcasm us. You won't do it. There's nothing you can say that is more sarcastic than the things that I have said myself or heard by other veterans. You will not say something that causes us to gasp. You will not say something that puts us in a position where we feel awkward. It's not going to happen. You will not out sarcasm us. It is the lifeblood of communication in the military. There's so many ridiculous things that happen. There's so many odd tasks that you've been given, things that don't always make sense, and everybody copes with the heaviest sense of sarcasm that you will ever hear in your life. So no matter how odd you may be, or how much you just love to just criticize or just lay into things that you don't think are going well, I can assure you, you'll be safe with me. Point number 5 on why using an agent that's a veteran is a good thing. And that is, veterans, by and large, are good leaders and they are good followers. And we can play both roles quite well. We are asked, particularly in the enlisted ranks where I was, they're asked to be a follower quite often. And we understand the dynamic of, it doesn't matter how you feel about the leader. It doesn't matter, frankly, it doesn't matter if they're very good at it. You are put under certain individuals and you are to do what they ask you to do, plain and simple. And they teach you how to follow direction. They teach you when to complain, when not to complain. A guy I used to work with who was retired Air Force used to say, hey, just tell me to shut up and color when you need me to. He had lots of good opinions. He knew what he was doing, but he understand the dynamic. At some point, as the boss, at some point you need to just tell him, all right, thank you. I appreciate all your feedback. I appreciate all the things that aren't going well, but go ahead and shut up and color now. Yes, sir. So dealing with an agent who's a veteran, they understand this dynamic. They know who's the boss. They know you're the boss. They know if there's something you want, we're going to figure out how to do that. We'll give you our objections, but we understand very well that at some point, it's time to shut up and color. Do what your client says to do. In addition to that, good followers also oftentimes know how to be good leaders. And when it comes to this, there are moments, even though you're the follower, what's needed is somebody to step up and go, all right, I see that there's a leadership void here. Maybe you're a first-time home buyer. Maybe you don't understand the process. Maybe you don't really know what you want, and you're looking for somebody to lead. Yes, your real estate agent works for you, but you know what? Sometimes you want an agent who can step up and go, hey, I understand. Let me take charge of this. Let me help you. Let me get you to where I think you're going. Nudge me if you need to, but you know what? I get this. Let me help lead you, and I'll get you where you want to go, and we'll discuss how we got there when we're done. Veterans are very good at this. Veterans understand this dynamic. Again, they know when to be good followers, but they know when to be good leaders. And oftentimes, good leaders, they're not just the boss, they're not just telling people what to do, but they're figuring out what you need to do your job. They're figuring out how to get you so that you can be better at what you're doing. You hear that often, that servant leadership, that you're not just bossing everybody, you're not just pointing at everything, so you do this, you do that. No, they're putting you in a position so that you can succeed. Veterans know this inherently, and I can tell you as a real estate agent, I will continually look, what does my client need? Do they need me to just shut up and color? Or do they need me to help lead them a little bit, show them the process, lead them down the road so they understand, how does this work? How do I succeed at this? I'll gauge both of those things and be exactly what you need in that given situation, and happy to do it. So I hope you found this video enlightening in some way. Hope you found it humorous in some way, maybe. But again, my name is Tim Downs, and my wife Stephanie Downs. We comprise the Downs Legacy team, real estate agents here in the west side of Phoenix. And it is our pleasure to serve our clients. It's our pleasure to put ourselves in a position to help you succeed in your real estate needs. And we stand by ready and willing to serve you in any way, in any capacity you need to get you in the home that you're looking for, to get you the services that you need. So glad to do it. Looking forward to doing it here in the future. Thank you.